Yo, welcome to Team RaddTitan, and today we're going to be reviewing the Figurama Collectors Elite Exclusive Statue from Claymore. This is Teresa versus Priscilla. We're going to be going over all the details, and then we'll be telling you what we think about it, and hopefully you can let us know.
We're going to tell you what
we're going to tell you what to think. Dagnammit, tell you as a Freudian slip, isn't it? Anyway, stay tuned.
All right, everyone, we're back. As Gio was saying, we are looking at the Teresa versus Priscilla. This is from Claymore, the anime, the manga as well.
It's a series, isn't it? It's like a series. They call it the animated series when I was looking into this.
Well, no, it's actually based on a manga, which is the comic, and then they made the animation afterwards. I've only seen the animation. I've seen probably 5 or 6 episodes. I haven't got to this point yet, so I'm not 100% sure.
Do you know who she is?
I don't. She's not in it yet. When I watched it, because like literally
any of these in it yet?
Cheers. But they were wandering around, and
who's Teresa?
Teresa
Terry,
is the demon, and then Priscilla's the
demon fairy.
Claymore.
Okay.
So basically, it's kind of almost like only from again the episodes I've seen, it's almost like a gender swap Witcher. So I don't know which came first, because I know Witcher's older in Poland, and some of the books are a bit older. But I don't know whether the manga or that come first. And it's kind of very similar with the eyes as well. So their eyes kind of change color. The kind of idea of the females are Claymore in this, and obviously Witcher is males. But like the way that they blend with the demons. So it's like the Yuma in this. This is an edition size of 800. Sold very well, and I think on the aftermarket now you would be very lucky to pick one up. It's really in demand. And
got to find a mint one as well.
Yeah, with this as well. I mean, this turned up totally fine. You know, there were no issues with this, and I was surprised. I mean, the amount of kind of jagged edges, the amount of like tips of hair, and the amount of teeth, and all of these pieces. Anywhere could have gone wrong. You know, anywhere could have broken. We'll just start on the piece. So this again, is Teresa and Priscilla, and the start on the base actually.
1950s names, by the way.
Yeah.
Just saying so.
So with the base on this,
so what do you get? Let me just quickly. What do you get? So you got was it 750 or 800?
800.
800. So you get this, and you get like a swap out bust, yeah.
You get the bust. I believe what Figurama.
So you can change the heads, right?
The heads change.
Okay.
I went for this one with the head more kind of sweeping with the hair in front of the face, because I felt that this one suited the bust better, because it didn't really make sense. Well, it didn't really make sense. There's an action pose, and that hair made more sense on the action pose for me. And then you get the bust with that as well because of the switch ahead. I do think what Figurama normally do, I don't know if this is the case, is when they release a piece, then there'll be a feedback saying we wish this or wish that, and they'll make another head and then add the bust afterwards. Sure. I think may have happened. On the base of this, there's like a bronze kind of story going on, and there's like loads of things here with kind of the monsters going on here.
Having sex.
All these got demons, all the women here as well. The Claymore, and obviously then at the front you have these the 2 Claymore there at the front.
Are they angels? Is that what they're like? Angels almost.
Well, they're like demons, but yeah.
Claymore are.
Yeah, they blend with these like Yuma, and basically over time they become more and more demon, and which is probably, again, I haven't seen this part, so I'm assuming that she was a Claymore and she's converted, because the Yuma, from what I've seen so far, the Yuma kind of takes over, and then they kind of have to kill their own kind of friends, really. On the base as well, these silver elements are the swords. So they're kind of top of the swords. Cool, I don't know if I have the swords in the right places. I just put them where I could kind of fit them. There was only one of them that I was sure of, but I don't really think it matters. As you then work into the piece, assembling this piece was challenging, especially if you don't look at the instructions, which I'm a man and I kind of don't look at instructions until I really need to.
This is so complex. I'll probably just leave it in the box.
Well, the thing is,
I don't know if I could. I don't know if I could. I've got a bottle to take this.
Well, the thing that's really, really clever with this is, when you put a part on, you're like, that ain't going to be secure. Then you put the next part on, and it's kind of pressing it, resting against it. So you're like,
it's like building blocks.
So as you put the next piece on, it kind of like
it
reinforces the piece before.
Yes.
And the other side of it as well is like obviously the characters have heavy elements to them, like the cape, the wings. They're resting on other parts. Also the sword hilt. As you see, if that leans a little bit, it's going to be touching the cape, so it can't go anywhere after that. Also with the... He's got my shoe. Also with the part here, for example, when you put the heads on, that head there supports the body here, and it supports that. So they secure each time. Every time you put a piece on, it's securing the next piece, and it's really, really smart. One of the things as well, which I do, I don't know if they listen to us, but I like to think people do. With the original Devilman, one of our major critiques, I absolutely love the original Devilman, but one of my main critiques was that, you have all of this amazing detail going on when you look at the statue from the front, but as soon as you go to the back, it looks like they've just kind of... devoid of detail. They just gave up. Sure. And that may be just to kind of lack of experience of making statues, or because that was one of their first pieces, or it may have just been that it's just not important. People aren't going to display the back. So now, when you do see this one, the back, they haven't cut any corners. No corners have been cut on this. And there's just so much going on there as well. Like
this is fucking nuts.
It's crazy. You literally all just taking pictures of this, and you can be taking pictures all day.
I had to stop because I literally, it's just nuts. I think when you start at the base, you've got this almost, I'm going to have to approach this from more of an artistic direction, sort of, what I see. I don't have any sort of background in sort of anime or this series or anything like that, so you're going to have to forgive me. But just as a...
mine's limited. So.
Just the composition of it is just mind-blowing in terms of like the fact that the Claymore sort of with the angel wings at the front, almost like a bone, like an ivory bone sort of look to them.
Yeah.
And then when you get behind that, you start getting into what can only be described as almost an oxidized brass or gold. It's more brass. That looks like it's got like hints of green,
like the patina,
and some browns and things, and it's really, really striking. And that sort of backdrop with the sword sort of and the silver top and bottom edges that sort of are framing it really, really jump out, because you've got this sort of darkness and then you've got this bright, so you've got this really sort of cool effect that's going on here. And then you get into the sort of storytelling mode, where you start going up, and this stuff at the back, like, I don't know if it's coming across on camera. I can only assume. I hope so, with how much Alex has paid for it. But there are so many colours, like it's all different. Like all of the parts that are working their way through it. You've got sort of like, like a light yellow brown, like a bad diarrhea colour, and then you've got sort of a black next to it with hints of blue. Yeah. You've got sort of, it's very much like, almost like corals in the sea. You've got all these different sort of colours, this lovely green effect with like almost like a salmon pink and cream background. It's just a great mix, and there's loads and loads of textures on these rocks. Like they look like if you dragged it across your skin, you'd wish you hadn't. I mean, they look really sharp and angry. You start moving your way into these heads, and they're mind-blowing.
These heads are crazy.
They're fucking nuts, these
heads are ridiculous.
They look like sort of elves, or like fairies. They got these pointed ears and a really pointy nose.
Sharp
these
teeth.
Nice little little lips. Beautiful hair strands, all individually done and sculpted and very well painted. Then the damage, the like burn or cut or bleeding. That's horrific in there. There's all sorts of slimy, gunky.
All the kind of like...
it looks wet and all, doesn't it? There's like a wetness to the sort of the...
Yeah. All the sinew as well, like like the side here, where you got like the threads of the muscle there. It's absolutely ridiculous. And then
teeth are some of that teeth there.
Yeah,
some of the best I've ever seen.
Yeah,
they're really fantastic, enamel looking. Sort of a yellowy, sort of white tipped tint. Really, really
I'm coming around now to the light with the gloss all over these, and fantastic, absolutely fantastic. And then you go into the eyes. It's got the kind of decals on the eyes, I assume, and they look great as well. Into the eyelashes, separation in the hair, as George says, and then you go into the actual characters. So, the kind of separation between the two characters, and then you look at the the Teresa character, I believe, you've got this fantastic kind of iridescent paint on her
really
as well.
is, yeah, good
where,
shot.
kind of like, one it looks like kind of like a pinky, and then it kind of goes into a purple, and it's really, really, really cool, really well done.
Catches the light lovely because
Yeah.
you've got this window behind us, so when the light hits this part, it's like almost reflective. Certainly, there's a silvery blue hue going through it. There's
Yeah.
like picking up lovely on them wings, and there's like it does look like fairy wings.
Yeah.
Where they're basically two at the top and then two at the bottom facing down. She almost has like an armor, sort of bone armor, like I would call it an exoskeleton sort of look to her, and then working through her midsection and going up, she almost has like a, like what a knight would have to cover your chest, almost like a bone armor plating going across her vitals to protect her organs.
I think there was something they had to do because
have their tits out.
Yeah, I think there was something to do with that, and they weren't allowed to do the nips.
Yeah,
I haven't got to this part yet, but I do recall a conversation about it.
It's a great shine on it though as well. Great shine on like the bone. Again, it's an iridescent sort of look where it's got a as the light hits that sort of bony sort of yellow colour, it almost goes to a white. Really fantastic. Really, really mind blowing piece. Yeah. Fucking mind blowing.
And also on the sword in her hand is metal. So these ones are plastic, and the one up there is metal.
That's awesome.
So there is obviously one of the concerns would be about leaning or whatever else, but the way that's weighted and resting onto the actual cape, I don't think you have an issue there at all. I think the engineering has really, really been thought through.
Get a picture
really, really been thought through.
Underneath her cape, the Priscilla's cape, there's fabric.
Yeah.
If you look inside it, you see them rivets there.
Yeah.
They're like almost a fabric underneath.
Like a lining.
Like a lining. Yeah. It's really, really well done.
But really, and then you go into the faces. I mean, they are very like kind of, even though that she's a monster, she's still got a very pretty face to her. And then you got the face of the Claymore, which is again very, very pretty as well. And you got the switch out, which is the bust on here. I'm not going to switch these heads over, but this one is actually looks quite good as well. It's quite a stern kind of look. The reason why
disapproving for sure.
Yeah, the reason why I put this on the bust is because of the fact that it just looked better on the bust, I felt. But then you got the cape kind of wrapping around and kind of
that's because it looks like the air is blowing up a little bit with the cape, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, it does there though. It will work on that. I think it looked great on there too.
Fantastic piece.
I like the sort of unicorn devil evil face of that with all that spiky hair. That's fucking mental. That one. Yeah. Of Teresa, that's crazy.
Yeah, I agree.
No bones, like even in the hands like look like spikes, like her fingers, but you can almost see the bone, how the finger is, the joints of a finger would work, and how it breaks up. Very nice, man.
The articulation of it, yeah.
Nice.
And also, well, if I had to sort of say something I don't like about
let's
it,
find some negatives.
I don't like the way that her hands are attached. The seam on the wrist, I think, is quite obvious. But I do think that they've done that obviously for a reason, that, if you left those hands on there, then fingers are going to break. So it has been done. Maybe the whole arm could have come off under the shoulder pad. And that would have maybe been a better way to do it. But again, we are kind of really just kind of clutching at straws and trying to find things to kind of pick at where you don't need to.
I don't find that them lines bother me too much, because, like I just said, the actual fingers themselves have them lines running through them, so it isn't as obvious when you look at the piece from how. I do agree with the underarm bit here. If you're looking at it from this perspective, the under the arm, that one's a little bit more of a severe join compared to the fingers. But head on, how it should be viewed, it's really, really slight. It's very slight, because there's a lot of lines all over her, to be honest. So it breaks it up nice. It's a good trick how it's been done.
All right. So what we'll do then is we'll just give this a quick kind of measure. Yeah. Can turn it off now, I think. The highest point is her sword, or the tip of the wing.
Wow, that's like fucking potato shit, that is.
It's a sword. It's a sword.
Okay, come on in. Let me hold you.
Guide me. All right, so we have...
Spot on 70 centimetres.
27.5 inches, which is about 70 centimetres.
Yeah. Spot.
And then we have the width of this. I would say is probably no, it's the base.
I think you're.
So the base of this, I'm careful of that. And so that will come out to about there. I'd say the width of this is about 18 inches, which is about 46 centimeters, and then your depth
you're pretty much adding on the wings,
going to be there, which is the front in line of, and then there, which is probably about 15 inches deep, which is about 38 and a half
them
centimeters.
wings sticking out there, is that 15?
They don't stick out that way though.
Dude, that's pretty good if they've done that.
No, they don't stick out. That sticks out the other way.
That's very reasonable.
Yeah,
that's very reasonable sizes.
I can't give you a recap because I can't remember what I just said. But
no, it was 70 centimeters high, 27, I think you said, didn't you?
I can't remember.
70 up, so it's 27, and then I think it was
rewind.
I think it was 18 wide and 15 deep.
Okay. All right, everyone. So what we do there is finish off, and thanks to Figurama for sending this across. This actually was an arrangement before I got the job, and maybe it was a sweetener.
Should have done this without me. It was risky bringing me in here, but then again.
But yeah, no. So
nice.
Do the usual, guys. Like, comment, subscribe, share, and make sure that you do subscribe. It adds to the algorithm. It helps us out. Comment, even if you don't like it. Comment. Let us know what you don't like about it. Let us know what you like. Let us know what they could have done better. Let us know what they perfected. And join us on Instagram as well. We're going quite well on there. Around 20,000, so we're probably going to take over our YouTube on Instagram at the moment.
Let us know where this ranks in terms of Figurama pieces. Where do you put this? Because I've been lucky to see probably like about 5 or 6 of their pieces. Considering I'm not an anime collector or anything like that, you're very blessed when you see pieces that you're not, that you don't collect.
Sure.
If you get to see them in person, it's a gift. And I think this might be the best I've seen so far. In fact, it's the best I've seen.
I think it's the best piece they've done.
It's the best I've seen. So for me, this is number 1 of all the pieces I've seen. Where does it rank for you?
Yeah.
Be good, be blessed. Have a good day.
Peace out.
Yo, welcome to Team RaddTitan, and today...
Yeah! Hey. Yo, you had to come over, you had to get involved.
I'll try again. It's not too natural. I got all the information, but just
want to. That there's
Figurama
Collectors.
Figurama's Collective Elite Exclusive Statue. Teresa versus Priscilla.
Elite Exclusive Statue.
Shut up. Shut your fucking... You work for them, cunt. I don't know. Sorry, I know. He's mean, isn't he? Makes me sad. He hurts my soul. He will scratch me, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does that. He goes like that on your leg. He does that in the middle of the night.
You fuckhead. Look at these big junky teeth. Big teeth, big cock.
That's why they call him sausage dogs. I'm just getting something to frighten because he's chewing up my shoe. He didn't even move. All right, everyone. So what we do then is we're going to finish off. And
do you want to do any measurements for this?
I
think this is something that probably we could do with measuring.
Chewed off the back of my shoe.
Let's have a look. He's done your... Oh, shit. What? You just smack his ass, bro.
Where is it?
He's here, hiding behind the table. Let's hear a squeal. Let's hear a squeal.